Alright, so this is LEGO Marvel Set 76178, released in 2021 for $350 with 25 minifigures, 3,772 pieces. This is obviously the Daily Bugle, and I can't even get all of it in one shot unless I scoot all the way back in my chair, because that's how tall this set is. But we'll look at all these minifigures, every single floor in detail. But first, of course, we gotta look at the box and the instructions. Here is the massive instruction book, and I love that it's printed in that comic book style with the Daily Bugle logo that goes kind of all the way around, but of course it doesn't reach the back, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Flipping to the first page, there's just a little thing to read. If you guys want to pause and read it now, that's okay with me. And I think the second page, or actually page 4 technically, is where it gets really interesting, because it shows every figure you get and just a little bit of information about him or her. The next page is about how the designer built the Daily Bugle, and this page is about the news that they put in the set, and finally one that just tells you to follow the instructions. And if we look closely at all these pictures, you can see that they're all in the comic book style. Which, maybe not this one, but these ones are. The real pictures are printed in the comic book style, which look really cool. Now here's the box, and the top you can see all of the minifigures you get, and that's a lot when you look at it like that. The front of the box just has a picture of the Daily Bugle going all the way down into the information about the set. This side has just a side profile of the Daily Bugle, and the back just has the back side of the Bugle, how you can take it apart, and just more office space that we will look at in detail later. Now, before we get started looking at any minifigure, I want to do things a little bit differently. Since this is a $350 set, I want to go into a little more detail about each figure. So we're going to go over when they first appeared in either a comic or a TV show. Most of them are from comics, except for one minifigure that we'll look at in a little bit. Now, the first minifigure we're going to look at is the Punisher. His first appearance was in The Amazing Spider-Man 129 in 1974, if you can believe it or not. Now, he comes with 2 guns. One of them is just a basic gun that we've seen before, but the other is a little more brick-built, using one of the Alien Conquest guns in black, a binocular piece, and one of these clip pieces as a magazine. He does also come with the Widow's Peak hairpiece, a little smirk on the face there, Punisher's iconic torso design, dual molded legs in white and black. He has a little bit of back printing, and he has 2 expressions. This one is a little more angry, and he has a band-aid on the side of his face, which I think looks fantastic. Up next is Daredevil. He came in Daredevil #1 in April of 1964. Now, this minifigure is also fantastic. I like the red horns, I like the red batons, the red legs, the red arms. It just looks really good. I love the Daredevil torso printing, and of course only one expression, because, you know, it's a mask, so he can't really have 2 expressions, but he does have back printing, which is always bonus points. Up next here is Mysterio. He is from The Amazing Spider-Man #13, published in June of 1967. Now, I mean, this is definitely Mysterio. There's no face printing under the fishbowl. There's a little bit of torso printing. No arm printing, no leg printing. Let's see, under the cape, there's a little bit of back printing. And this is a soft cape, so I guess that's okay, but... And really, no leg printing? This set was almost $400, and you're not going to give me any leg printing? Are you kidding me? Here is Blade. His first appearance was in Tomb of Dracula #10, published in July of 1975. Now, what I just said about Mysterio, no arm printing, no leg printing, that's bad. But with this figure, because it's our so far only Blade, I'm going to accept the no leg printing and no arm printing. Like, that's fine. I do like the head printing. I think that looks nice. Torso printing, I think, looks nice. You can see it's kind of like a shiny metallic almost. There's a little bit of red if you look on there at the right angle. Turning him around, you can see his dual swords, #1, #2. And there's just the slightest bit of back printing, which I think is good. And this is Dr. Otto Octavius from The Amazing Spider-Man #3, published in July of 1963. Now, I really like this figure. I love the 1x1 studs with the hole in the middle and the superhero posing pieces to create these massive, I guess, auto arms. I'm not sure exactly what he calls them, but you can pose them around any way you want, but with my history of them, I always break them, so I'm just going to be very, very careful and trying to get them out of the way. It does come with this Widow's Peak hairpiece in brown. I like the glasses. I think that looks funny. No arm printing or no leg printing either, but I think with this one it's okay because he does look like he's based off the PS4 game from Insomniac. Sorry. Under all the auto arms, you can see a second expression where he's a little more angry, and where the arms are supposed to be sticking out of his back, which is just, they didn't have to put all that detail in, but they did, which is bonus points. And here is Venom. His first appearance, not the symbiote's first appearance, was The Amazing Spider-Man 300, released in 1988. Now, we've seen this figure a lot, actually, so I probably won't go into too much detail about him. But, torso printing always looks good. He doesn't need leg printing or arm printing. Face printing, same as always, because it's Venom. What are you gonna get? Again, back printing is more of the same, but the highlight for this figure is obviously this back piece we get here with all the crazy arms and just different pieces. We use like these big bone pieces, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what those are called for some of the back symbiote powers, which I think look really good. You can pull off a lot of good action poses with these. So there was Venom. So why not do Carnage next? His first appearance was in The Amazing Spider-Man #361, released in April of 1992. So a relatively recent character. He comes with these crazy symbiote pieces, 2 that go in his arms, and he has the same back piece as Venom, which is black for some reason. I think it should be red, but you know, that's okay. I really like this figure. Just all the symbiote detailing looks amazing. Toe printing, leg printing, waist printing, all looks fantastic. Uses a little bit different pieces as Venom, still uses the bone pieces. These are smaller bone pieces, I guess. The clips in red, and the back piece is the same. And the back printing looks amazing, I think. With the orange, the black, and the red, just looks really, really cool. Let's do a complete 180 from a crazy symbiote to a sweet old lady. This is Aunt May from Amazing Fantasy #15, released in August of 1962. And she comes with this really simple cookie tray with just with a couple, actually, there's only 2 cookies on there. Comes with this gray bun piece, and head piece is definitely, looks like Aunt May. I like the torso. It's like a knitted sweater. Dark blue legs, same back printing. She has 2 expressions, one which is like super scared because somebody broke into the Bugle, and the other is just calm because she got saved by Spider-Man. This is Gwen Stacy from The Amazing Spider-Man #31, released in December of 1965. And I like this figure. I like the blonde ponytail piece. I like the blue jacket. I like the light blue legs. The purple undershirt looks pretty cool. A little back printing, and I feel like I've seen this face before. I think this is actually April's face from the Ninja Turtles line. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks like April. This is Betty Brant from The Amazing Spider-Man #4, released in September of 1963. Now, there's not much going on with this figure. We do get Edna's hairpiece in brown, pink torso, which is kind of like a dress, white legs, and no arm printing, of course, because why would she? And she does have a second expression where she's a little happy working at the Bugle, and one that's not so happy. Here is J. Jonah Jameson from Amazing Fantasy #15 in August of 1962. Now, we've seen many JJs over the years, but I think this is the best one, surely because of this pen. Like, dual molded pen in purple and light blue color. And, of course, I'm just kidding. It's because of his second expression, where his mouth is actually webbed shut because of Spider-Man. and he's all pissed off saying Spider-Man's a menace. But I like the torso. I think it's like, I don't want to say comic shaded, but you know what I mean. Just looks a little more animated than the other torsos. And this is Ben Ulrich from Daredevil, number 153, released in July of 1978. Now, this to me also looks like the teacher from Spider-Man Homecoming, so maybe, but, you know. He does have comb-over hairpiece. I like his gold glasses. I think that looks pretty funny. His suit could be used for a lot, so that's actually really useful. Dark tan legs, no arm printing. Back printing looks really, really cool. And let's see a second expression where he's pretty upset, maybe because he dropped his papers or something. This is the Green Goblin, who first appeared in the Amazing Spider-Man number 14, released in July of 1964. Now, I really like this figure. No pumpkin bombs, unfortunately. Always comes with this crazy headpiece. Angry expression. A little satchel here. Green arms, toe printing, leg printing, and torso printing, which all look fantastic. Moving to the back, you can see there is back printing, where maybe he would connect to his glider. And there is a second expression where he's laughing because he just blew up part of the Bugle. This is Sandman from The Amazing Spider-Man number 4, released in September of 1963. Now, this figure is really cool, surely because of this massive piece he's standing on. He doesn't come with any legs, so this is all you get. And, of course, this little build, which we'll look at later, but that's not important right now. Hairpiece, just regular hairpiece in brown. We've seen that before. He uses the clone face from Lego Star Wars, which is really weird. Torso, half sand, half green, which is really cool. One tan arm and one tan hand. Back printing, kind of the same as the front, with the half green, half tan look. And no second expression, because this is one of the clone heads from Lego Star Wars. Now there are 4 civilian minifigures, starting with Amber Grant here. I like her hair hat combo. I think it looks pretty cool. Dual molded there. Face printing, kind of looks like MJ. Torso printing looks like she should have Green Goblin satchel. Blue legs, and she does have back printing with the fanny pack on the back there, actually. And she is kind of confused on the other side, which, of course, I'm not sure why, because Sandman just attacked her newsstand. Here's Bernie, the cab driver, and, yeah, that's about it. He's just the taxi driver. I like his hat. I think that's cool. You can do a whole lot of different things with that. I like the beard, how it goes all the way up like that. Just a hoodie piece, hoodie torso, I'm sorry, we've seen that before. I think that's a nougat. We've seen that before. Hood on the back you can't do anything with. So here is Ron Barney, and I really like his torso. I think that looks good with the blue undershirt, the black and red kind of, I'm not sure what that pattern's called, but it looks really cool. Red arms, dark tan legs, same printing on the back. Face printing looks really cool. Lifting up the hair, and he's angry underneath, which it's definitely me. And the last one of our civilians is Robbie Robertson, and just another civilian minifigure, you know. He's a little older, so he does have a little gray under the mustache and on his eyebrows, a white undershirt, and diamond pattern on his shirt, I guess. I'm not sure what else that would be called. Sand green legs, no back printing. Okay, I guess. And he has a smirk underneath for his second expression. And this one's a little more angry. I guess this is technically our last civilian minifigure. This is Peter Parker from Amazing Fantasy number 15, released in August of '62, just like JJ and Aunt May, and one more figure we'll look at later. I like this. We see the satchel piece again. Blue legs, kind of a varsity jacket, I guess, maybe. Kind of like a pink shirt, actually. Maybe that's supposed to be white, but it looks pink in the light. We've seen the hairpiece before. You know, kind of scared. Second expression. And there's actually a slight print for the back there. Since we looked at Peter, might as well look at his alter ego, the Spider-Man, from Amazing Fantasy 15 in '62. Dual molded legs, arm printing, back printing, back of the head printing, This figure has everything. This, I think, is the ultimate Spider-Man figure. If you want a Spider-Man, this is the one you get. The detailing is really, really good. All of the lines, just perfect, I think. Let's talk about the arm printing. I think that looks really, really good. Back of the head printing. Of course, I wish the detail would wrap all the way around, but Lego can't do that yet. Back printing looks really cool, I think. Again, he has dual molded legs. So, it's really cool Spider-Man. And here is Miles Morales' Spider-Man. He came from Ultimate Fallout in August of 2011. He comes with a red hood piece, and we, take that off, but now it doesn't look as cool, now does it? But he does have back of the head printing just like Peter. I like his jacket. Custom Miles Morales logo on the back there. Also has dual molded legs, and he has his spider suit underneath his jacket. So that looks really cool with the hood on like that. This is the Ghost Spider from Edge of the Spider-Verse #2 in September of 2014. But obviously this is Gwen Stacy from Across the Spider-Verse, but that's not important right now. What is important is this white hood piece that we can take off to look at her head a little bit more. No back of the head printing, but that's okay. White arms, no leg printing. You can see a little bit of color up on the upper torso there in the maybe light blue and purple. A little negative space for the hips in white, and just a little bit of back printing with a little more of that colored printing, which I think looks cool. I like the blue and purple. I think it's not too much and it's not too little, which I would prefer a little bit more, but that's okay. Here is the Spider-Ham. His first appearance was Marvel Tales, starring Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham, from November of '83. And that was one of the longest comic book titles I've ever read, but forget all that. I like his head printing and whole head mold, actually. I think it looks nice. A little spider logo up in the front of his nose there. No arm printing on either sides, just short legs, and Spider-Man torso, I guess. And he does have a little spider pig on the back there, which is incredible attention to detail. And this is Black Cat from The Amazing Spider-Man 194, released in July of 1979. She obviously comes with a whip. Just take that off. We've seen this many, many times before. And a crystal, which we've also seen many, many times before. Now, I like this figure. I think it works well. Hairpiece in white. A little mask over the eyes there. She has a little white, I guess, scarf. That's probably not what it's called, but it's just a little extra printing there. Negative space is in dark gray. Dual molded legs, which are always great. A little back printing and a second expression where she's angry. And last but definitely not least, this is Firestar from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Episode was Triumph of the Green Goblin, which aired September 12th, 1981. Now, she comes with these two fire pieces, which look really cool. 1 and 2, which just hook on her hands with that bar there. I like the hairpiece in red. I think it looks really cool. If we take it off, though, you can see her mask, where she's a little upset. See the back printing there, too. The negative space is in orange, which is interesting. And kind of the same printing on this side. No leg printing, no arm printing, which is kind of unfortunate, but this is how Firestar looked. And all of the Spider-Man did come with extra web powers, I guess. But we've seen these so many times, it's like, why should I even mention it? It's obvious they're coming in a Spider-Man set. Now, one of the two side builds here is Sandman's little destruction here. And you can see the two hinges, where it's super posable. You can pose it any way you want. And just tilt it any way you want to reveal more destruction, and just uses all kinds of tiles, like these corner tiles. There's a 2x2 tile there, a corner, not a corner tile. Is that a corner tile? I don't know. Whatever. There's just a lot of different tile pieces to make up this destruction, and you see those 4 studs on top. You just very easily connect Sandman, just like that. I had him on the wrong studs, but you can see just how that looks and how posable he is now. which I think has extra points because you don't really get stuff like that. And our second little build is obviously a cab, because we did get a cab driver, so we needed a taxi. And I like it. I like the taxi sticker there with the minifigure waving. I like that you can very easily take off the roof and see a small interior with just a steering wheel. Very easily just slide it back on. We look at the back, there's a license plate, which we're not gonna look at because I put the sticker on wrong. Another taxi sticker there. On the front license plate, I put that on a little bit better. You can see the front grille there. 2 headlights, of course. Taxi sticker on the top there, and also on the other side. Now there is only enough space for 2 regular minifigures, so they can't have any back accessories or satchels or anything, but if we steel it up, I think it does the job pretty well. You can very easily just drive it just like that. And this is a very important detail. They use the flint knock piece as an exhaust, which I think is really cool. Because when I saw that in the bag, I was like, what is this for? Spider-Man doesn't have a gun. But I like how they use that piece. It's very interesting. And now finally, after like 10 minutes, we can actually look at the Daily Bugle itself. But before we go inside, we gotta look at the outside. There's a fire extinguisher there. 2 potted plants on the left and right. 2 2x2 jumper plates, which one can be used for Sandman and any character you like. There's a newsstand to the right here with the sticker on a 2x4 plate that says newsstand, no crime, print. Trying to get it to focus, but it's not working. There's a few stickers in there. This is New York, New York, New York. There's a reference to Fisk, which I wanted him in set instead of one of those feelings, but that's okay. Very easily just remove this, and we can place a minifigure inside. Because there is actually 2, or I guess it's 1 jumper. We can just very easily place her there, and seal her back up, just like that, without the whole thing falling apart. But moving more to the back, you can see a little air conditioning unit on the back of the newsstand, a barrel, the fire escape, which we'll look at later, a barrel, like I said a second ago, 2 more barrels or boxes, whatever you want those to be, and two Technic-holes, which you would attach more modular buildings, but I don't have any to attach, unfortunately. On the back of the building, you can see 2 dumpsters. If we look inside, there's a sand green hot dog piece and 2 different colored cherries. And in the other one, there's 3 soda cans, all with printed 1x1 tiles in teal, red, and lime. There's also a air conditioning unit with a bird on it. One of Spider-Man's webs here, hiding a backpack, like in the Insomniac games. I like how they used the paint roller piece as a light here. I think that looks pretty cool. An exit door with a exit sticker. And moving to one last side, you can see more boxes. There's a rat, a New York sewer. I'm not sure what that's called. Manhole. Yeah, there you go. 2 more Technic-holes on the electrical box and the regular cardboard boxes. And you can see there's a crack in this wall, which we can just pull on this, and it should start to come out just like that. So you have a giant hole in the Daily Bugle now. But before we move on, I have to talk about the tiling work, because it's kind of lackluster, I think. They just have 2x2 tiles, corner tiles, and these L-shaped tiles. I mean, it works, but, you know, when you have the smoothed out front like that, it just kind of transitions into nothing, basically. But moving up just a little bit here, you can see 3 stickers, Daily Bugle, on 2 2x4 tiles, the logo, and you can see a cylinder piece with one of the superhero posing pieces, where you can place anybody you want, like Spider-Man, like he's going for a swing. And I am just holding that up, it doesn't reach, but that doesn't matter. If we take off the other 3 floors, you can see how it's connected just by 1x4 modified plates, and we can just very easily take a look on the inside, where you can see the news is on, and there's panic about a vampire in the subway. There's a little desk there with access to get into the Bugle itself. 3 newspapers, all printed, of course. There's that exit door we talked about a second ago with 2 more stickers on it, but Eddie Brock and somebody else. A soda vending machine with Spider-Man soda on the side there. The place where the backpack was kept is kind of exposed, but you know, that's okay. Flipping it over. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. You can see the cracks in the wall from the play feature we looked at a little bit ago. 3 chairs and 2 more papers that say no crime on them. And the door itself actually opens very easily. There's a clip up in one of the corners. Yep, on the left there. You can just push it that way to open it, just like that. And that somebody else on the door is actually the Green Goblin. Now that I look at it from this angle, it's a little easier to see. If we go up the fire escape to the 2nd floor, you can see 2 massive screens which talk about the 4 villains included in the set, about they stopped being bad guys, okay, and a interview with JJ, Kurt Connors, Miles Warren, and the Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, about a clone epidemic, which is really cool because Ben Reilly, of course, is all about clones. And if we move a little to the left, you can see Vote Osborne for Mayor, which is really cool. I like the curved sticker on that translucent blue. Very easily just pop this front window off, and you can take a look on the inside. If we start by the elevator, you can see 2 up and down printed 1x1 tiles, which you've seen before, 3 newspapers about Doc Ock, Spider-Man No More, and Green Goblin in Times Square, I'm sorry, reading the newspaper. On this side, you can see donuts, a coffee machine, and a pink mug. And there are 3 drawers there with, unfortunately, nothing in them. If we look over here, you can see there's monitors and papers scattered everywhere. But this desk has a keyboard, a red mug, and a sticker with the Daily Bugle News on it. Moving over here, Spider-Man finally unmasked. No. 4 news televisions. Moving to this desk, you can see Rhino escapes from the zoo. Another news monitor there. Keyboard, a coffee mug, a stack of papers about Nelson and Murdoch winning a big lawsuit, a bucket to catch leaks, and if we peek through the glass, you can see another monitor with a light, another keyboard, more papers about, sorry, I can't really see it, but I think it says no crime there. I'm trying to focus, I'm sorry. Who is the Spider-Man? And about a city power blackout where they needed Electro. There's a water fountain with a bottle of alcohol, which is a little strange in an office, but I'm not going to complain. Where we can place Mysterio flying out of the Bugle. But obviously this section is all about Green Goblin flying through the office. Going up the fire escape one more time to reach the 3rd floor. You can see there's another superhero posing piece here, which just looks fantastic with the minifigure on there. I like these orange power pieces representing pumpkin bombs. I like that the glass is like jumping out at you because there are posable pieces. So you really can make this any way you want. I just recommend be careful because you might break it. Again, we can just very easily, actually, I don't know about easily, but we can take this off. Sorry, with one hand it's kind of tough, but the elevator once again has the 1x1 tiles. There's a couple, there's one spider and a spider's web up there. A camera, a few drawers, a few boxes, pizza box, a newspaper talking about aliens, it looks like. A printer, or it might be a possible copy machine, which if we go out just for a second leads to a small balcony with nothing much on it except for another light with more paintbrush pieces. If we go past the wreckage, you can see, I'm assuming, Peter Parker's office with the sand green walls, a picture of the original Spider-Man, 2 post-it notes on 1x1 studs there, a very simple desk, a phone, and a dark blue chair. And you can sit him in the chair, but you have to take his satchel off, unfortunately. And I lied earlier, this is technically our last side build of the set, but it's connected to the side of the building, so I was thinking about cutting it. There are 3 stickers on here, a 1x3 plate on both sides, and the front here has the headlights. And I think this is a really simple build, but I think it works really well. and there is enough space to fit any of the Spider-Men you want. I'm not sure why the Ghost Spider would be driving the spider buggy, but there's an exhaust in the back for when you want to drive around. And now finally we're on the 4th floor and the last floor of the Daily Bugle, which on the outside includes 4 pole pieces where you can hang anybody you want if the weight allows them to, I guess, because this duck cock is kind of removing the front panel. You can see we're now at JJ's office with the same news going on that we looked at earlier on the 2nd floor. There's a little desk here for one of JJ's possible security, or just a intern, or anybody you really want. Or I guess the secretary would probably make more sense, but whoever it is getting a call from Eddie Brock that they missed. And there's a keyboard there, a little black chair, and JJ of course has a glass door leading into his office. And in the office you can see all kinds of stuff like multiple awards, a white coffee cup, a bounty he set for the Spider-Man, and he just sent an email, sorry, one of the panels fell off. He just sent an email to Peter Parker that says, "You're fired." Hopefully he can pay his rent. And I guess this would kind of be the last floor, but the very top of the Bugle on the roof, you can see Daily Bugle spelled out in all tiles, and the spider buggy just attached, sorry if I can grab it, just like that, tearing off actually what holds it on the building. But it's just one of these spinning pieces here. So what else is on the roof? Well, let's see. The water tower with little Green Goblin graffiti and Miles Morales stickers. An antenna tower, which has really tall, which has Firestar's big, again, really big fire pieces here with multiple power blast pieces included. It just looks amazing when you have Firestar attached like that. And you can pose it actually any way you want because it's attached by the posable circle piece, I guess. I'm not sure what that's called, but that's a ball joint. That's what that's called, yeah. Now, if I could fit this battle scene all into one frame, I would, but we're just gonna do some B-roll while we talk about my thoughts. I really like the set. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's amazing. I think it's this, and this. Like, everything you can do in the set is just fantastic. Like, I love all the play features. I love the stickers. Like, even though it's $400, the stickers are there, and I'll have to take away a couple of points because, you know, maybe I messed up a few, and then maybe that's on me, but regardless, I spent $400 on this, so it should be all printed. But everything else just looks fantastic. All the minifigures and just the action poses and the interiors, just the references, just it's gorgeous. So what do I think about it? I think the set deserves a 10 out of 10. Very solid set. I love it. I definitely recommend it. I've heard it retires this year, so definitely pick it up as soon as you can. So definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the set. Hit like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to, of course. No big deal if you don't. Hit the notification bell. You know what to do. I don't really have to tell you.